Hello, my name is Naive Libertarian Politics, and today we will be doing episode 13 of the History of the Republican Party series. And in this episode, we will be covering the uh, the reign of Bill Clinton, his presidency, and how he got reelected, and what he did during his presidency. So let's get straight into it. So first, we have the six-party system Wikipedia article to represent which party system we're in. So first thing I want to bring up is basically where we left off in the last episode, in 1992, where Bill Clinton beat George H.W. Bush pretty handily as a culmination of a lot of things. Something I do need to bring up, actually, something that I failed to mention in the last video. Bill Clinton was severely helped by the fact that Ross Perot ran as a member of as an independent in 1992, and he got 18.9% of the vote, which is a little crazy, seeing that he was a third-party candidate, and he had actually originally dropped out and then rejoined the race. So had he not dropped out, he could have actually been president. But Ross Perot, he managed to definitely take votes away from both sides, but more from George W. Bush, because not only was he from Texas, but he was he was more Republican he was more Republican than Democrat. Ross Perot was more of a Republican than a Democrat, which definitely took votes away from Bush more than Clinton. So Clinton is inaugurated. He becomes the first Democratic president in 12 years. So, and something he manages to do, he manages to deal with the debt a little bit, which is probably really the only good thing about his presidency that happened. And, yeah, and the next thing I want to show is his approval ratings, which were pretty solid. His lowest approval ratings was in 1993. His highest were in 1998, but he still had some solid approval ratings, not too bad. So in 1996 comes around, and he manages to beat Robert Dole. So and the fact, and really the inauguration or the choosing of Robert Dole also shows part of the divide, because in 1994 actually the very conservative Republicans gained a lot of seats in Congress, and formed the Main Street Republican group, which exists this day. The Main Street Republican group, and Bob Dole was a little bit of a moderate, and I may be overstating this, but there was definitely a divide in the Republican Party, and this is just an example of how it happened. So yeah, so Bob Dole, William Clinton, Bill Clinton, they duked it out, and Bill Clinton won. Mostly because Bill Clinton was incumbent. Ross Perot was once again running, but under the Reform Party now. Bob Dole, he was older, and all the stuff that Bill Clinton had done, he was, I guess, relatively popular, which culminated in his election. So yeah. So what you need to take away from this YouTube video is that the six-party system, in the 90s, Bill Clinton was elected after a little bit of an underperformance of George H.W. Bush and also Ross Perot helping Clinton gain some votes, or have some votes taken away from Republicans. And Bill Clinton, he was an okay president. He was fairly popular, and the fact that they elected Bill Clinton again in 1996 because he was incumbent and he was fairly popular, and Ross Perot was running again and managed to take away some votes. And you can another thing you can take away from this video is that in the 90s, 80s, they started to form the the divide between the conservative Republicans and the moderates grew, and it's still growing to this day. So yeah, I know this has been a little bit of a shorter video, but there's not a lot to cover, not a lot more to cover. So yeah, as always, this is just my opinion. My name is Naive Libertarian Politics, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Expect more videos to come in the future. I've been trying to make a video every day. I've been roughly successful. So yeah. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.